Welcome back to Digits here at WSJ Live. I'm Simon Constable. Well, Facebook is changing its privacy features. You were looking at the timeline on Facebook there. Evelyn Rusli joins us now from the Wall Street Journal in San Francisco to tell us about this. Evelyn, they've done this before, haven't they? But this time they're telling us sort of ahead of time.
They've done this many times. In fact, if you looked at a lot of the headlines yesterday, it was, Facebook once again is changing their privacy settings. And a lot of these changes are fairly innocuous. They generally center around kind of the design and informing users on if you change, a setting on a post, who is actually going to see that. So it's more about education and kind of putting some context around, what you're sharing and how you're sharing it. But they did sneak in one important change the other day, and that is now everyone is essentially searchable. So before you could opt out of being discovered on search. So your timeline, just was completely hidden from search, but now they're eventually going to just take that away, and everyone is going to be able to find you on Facebook.
Okay, well, maybe time for me to leave then. Evelyn, Facebook has faced criticism in the past because of changing stuff, privacy settings over time. What are they doing to try and avoid that this time?
Well, I think that they really try to reach out to all the different media agencies and try to get us, educate them and let them know, you'll saw it on the blog post, really trying to go through every step. Okay, this is what we're doing. This is why, we're doing it and why we're trying to inform users on how their settings are going to look different. And, there's, one thing, for example, activity log, which is how you can look at your timeline and kind of from posts, whether that's pictures or whether that's comments, and then kind of adjust also based on audience. So, they went through all these different steps. They had a very lengthy blog post that they put up the other day, and it's all about kind of just trying to educate people and take a more measured, careful approach in doing this because, like you mentioned, Facebook has had a very awkward history with privacy, and a lot of privacy advocates in the past have criticized them for being very cavalier in their attitude with user privacy.
Evelyn, what are privacy experts and users saying now about this? Are they happy? Are they unhappy?
The response has been pretty muted. I mean, especially if you look at Facebook's history, right? When Facebook first rolled out Newsfeed, for example, there was a lot of angry users out there, wondering why Facebook was suddenly surfacing all their information to all their friends in such a manner. And we saw that with Beacon, and that forced Facebook to take down Beacon several years ago. So compared to the earlier history, it seems like, now when Facebook makes these changes, the response has been more muted. So they've made less dramatic changes than in the past.
Okay, well, more muted. It was definitely not muted in the past. I remember that very clearly. So, do I have to go through each post one by one to fix this, or is there a way to sort of override it and make them non-viewable?
Well, so you can change your default settings, and you were able to do this in the past in terms of setting it, if you're posting a picture, who would necessarily see that? You can have it by default that it's just your friends, for example, or you could have it for the public. And, what they're trying to do with this iteration of changes, though, is just making it easier for you not to only go post by post and changing your settings, but to, for example, select multiple pictures and decide, okay, I actually want these pictures hidden instead of public. So that's kind of the crux of where a lot of these changes are.
Well, there's always some of those, aren't there? These pictures need to be hidden. This is great stuff. Thank you very much, Evelyn Rusli of the Wall Street Journal. We appreciate your time.